Sometimes horror is not found in haunted houses or empty highways, but in the terrifying closeness of encounters that blur the line between human danger and something unexplainable. And these three disturbing close encounters horror stories show how fear feels when it is breathing right next to you, starting with the first story of a young woman who lived alone in a basement apartment and came home late one night after work. The street quiet except for the sound of her own footsteps. When as she slid the key into her door, she heard a whisper just inches behind her ear say, "You're home late." Spinning around, she saw no one in the dim hallway, her heart pounding as she rushed inside, locking the door. But later, as she tried to sleep, she awoke to the sound of slow, deliberate breathing coming from beneath her bed. And when the police were called, they found a man wedged underneath, armed with duct tape and a knife, who admitted he had been watching her for weeks and waiting for the perfect night to strike. The second story involved two friends camping near a remote lake, the moon barely lighting their small fire as they joked and told stories until they both noticed the sound of twigs snapping far too close in the woods behind them. Thinking it was an animal, they ignored it. But soon a figure emerged just at the edge of the trees, tall, gaunt, and completely still, its face hidden in shadows, watching silently without making a sound. When one of the friends yelled for it to leave, the figure slowly tilted its head unnaturally to the side, then stepped forward into the light, revealing pale, sunken features and a grin that never moved as it kept staring. And just when they grabbed their flashlight to shine at it, the figure vanished into the darkness. Yet throughout the night they kept hearing footsteps circling their tent until dawn. But when they went to pack up, they found childlike handprints pressed into the tent fabric just inches above where their heads had rested. The third and perhaps most disturbing story happened to a man driving home through backroads late at night, when his car broke down near an abandoned farmhouse. And as he sat in the driver's seat trying to get a signal on his phone, he noticed movement in his rearview mirror. A man standing no more than 2 feet behind the car, unmoving, with wide, unblinking eyes reflecting the faint moonlight. Terrified, he locked the doors and tried to stay calm, but when he glanced back again, the man's face was pressed against the rear window, grinning with rotten teeth, slamming his hands against the glass in violent bursts before suddenly disappearing into the tall grass. The driver too scared to leave his car until morning when a tow truck arrived, the driver casually mentioning that people had gone missing in the area for years, and warning him never to stop on those roads again. And to his horror, when he checked the trunk of his car later at home, he found smeared bloody handprints across it as if someone had tried to force their way inside during the night. These three disturbing close encounter horror stories remind us that terror is not always distant or abstract. It can stand inches away, hidden in shadows circling us while we sleep or pressing its face against the glass while we sit helpless. And they leave us with the chilling realization that the scariest thing in the world is not ghosts or monsters far away, but the horrifying moment when something dangerous is right there, within arm's reach, and we can do nothing but hope to survive.